Testing. Alright, hello and welcome. You're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. I'm so sorry about being late. I have editing garbage. I edit my video and I'm trying. I accidentally deleted my file, so I was on a little TikTok right now. So I'm so sorry. It's supposed to be a 7:05 p.m. game. I did everything. I need to be ready for like 2 minutes before we even start the broadcast. I need to be ready. I'm failing. I feel like a failure. I'll be ready Friday. So 35 p.m. late every time. So 3 wins, no loss. What am I even talking about? Alright, so this is the SIHL pregame show. We're going to have a quick one today. The Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Freight Train 3-0-1. They lost in overtime against the Baltimore Blast in the second of this 3-game set. So the Baltimore, they beat the Baltimore Blast the first 2 times. And then before that was the K-Wings they beat. Yeah, they beat the K-Wings 4-1. And then, actually they beat them twice. They beat the K-Wings in a back-to-back twice. First 4-1, then 10-7, then they beat Baltimore 4-2. Lost the following game 4-3, and this is the wrap up. This is the rubber match between the Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. I'm Thomas, your host. Glad to have you tuning in. However, this is much later than I was hoping for. That one I didn't have any reason to be late. I'm still late. So the Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. One got underway 6:35, 7 o'clock start for. So they already started. We're late, and Boston started. Boston started 7:05. So these two I think were 6:35 and then 6:45. This is 7:05, and then this is your late game, Seattle and San Diego. We're going to be covering the Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. And this is going to be. This is going to be this is going to be an Atlanta Freight Train broadcast, pretty much. Just so you know, because that is my team. So, Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. So, take a look at your starting lineups. You have Jesper Brett, Austin Matthews, Alex Tuck on that top line. Going left to right, Brett in left, Matthews in center, Alex Tuck in right. Your second line for the Freight Train will be Adam Fantilli. Last one home, Victor Arvidsson. And then your third line will be Sammy Blay in left. Hold on. Fantilli in left, Lindholm in right, Arvidsson in center. Blay in left, Curtis Lazar in center, and Nicholas Obey-Cavell in right. And then Kiefer Sherwood in left, and Liam Ogren in right in center. Mackenzie Entwistle in right for your bottom line. And then taking a look at your defense, you got Gustav Forsling and Owen Power on your top defensive pairing. Got J.J. Moser and John Marino on your second pairing. Arbor Xhekaj and Justin Barron. So, and then taking a look at your. Hold on. No. Continue Baltimore. Take a look at the Baltimore Blast lineup. What the? I need to. Why did it kick me out? Okay, just go back to 1. Alright, there. That's what it was before. Sorry about that. So, taking a look at the Baltimore Blast lineup, you got on the top left side, you got Michael Bunting in left. And then Mika Zibanejad in center. To the right is Brock Besser playing right lane. And for your second line, Jason Zucker in left, Kirby Dock in center, and Blake Coleman in right. And Dakota Joshua in left, David Camp in center, and Austin Watson in right. Justin Kirkland, Bobby McCann, and Carson Meyer. Justin Kirkland in left, McCann center, and Meyer in right. And taking a look at your defense, with Jonas Siegenthaler and Adam Larson for your top D pairing, Dmitry Kolikov and Matt Roy for your second D pairing, and your final defensive pairing, you got Parker Watherspoon and Connor Murphy. Why did I leave? Because now we gotta take a look at starting goaltenders. And then we're gonna get underway. I don't care what time it is. I want to be doing ready. I'm gonna start at 7:05. Driving me crazy. It's that Friday. So your starting goaltender today will be. See if we have it written down. Probably not. It'll be Phoenix Copley. So. Yeah, we don't have it written down. So your starting goaltender today will be Phoenix Copley for the Baltimore Blast. I leave before I can even get out. I'm sorry. I'm a little frustrated right now, so bear with me. And have Dan Woodard starting for the freight train here today. Alright, there we go. What a freight train, the Baltimore Blast. So here we go. The freight train. Freight train and their black. Those are the black and orange Blast in their away jersey. Sit back and enjoy this one. Enjoy the game. I don't have an intro. I didn't have time. Hello and welcome to downtown Atlanta, the Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. And we are underway, so back and enjoy this. Sorry about the late start. Brock Besser able to move over the line along the right wing. Able to go in the middle is Michael Bunting with a shot there and a save. Scooped up by Owen Power back on the near boards. Here's Alex Tuck there for the Atlanta Freight Train. Michael Bunting is there. There's Nico the Bench out on the backhand. Yeah, Ladar able to make the save and he holds on for the whistle to start this one. Glad to have you tuning in on the SIHL TV and Radio Network. I could say Freight Train Radio Network, but it would be like once a year. It wouldn't be often enough for it to have its own thing, so it would still be a SIHL TV and Radio Network. Gustav Forsling on the far side, Brad able to move on in. Here comes just for Brad able to move in over the line with Alex Tuck on the back end. Tuck right to the front, and a save. Phoenix Copley holding on for the whistle. 18:51 to go in period 1 between the Baltimore Blast and the Atlanta Freight Train. Austin Matthews and Mika Zemedge out of the Freight Train. I gotta get the puck cycling here early. You know, tape to tape. First, he got a game possession of the puck before he couldn't even do that. Bunting out the center and over the line. Top of the left circle. Pass was blocked. Good block on the pass there. Here's Alex Tuck back the other way with Austin Matthews on the back end, and he lost control. In the far corner, cross ice to Brock Besser the pass. Over to Jonas Siegenthaler, the drop off. And next feed of Bunting, trying to do a deke. Siegenthaler recovered. And the Freight Train get it right back and then go back down the ice. On the near side, Gustav Forsling on the forehand. Alex stuck in the middle with a shot and a save. Phoenix Copley holding on for the whistle. Glad to have you tuning in here on a Wednesday night. The Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Michael Bunting. On the face off of Elias Lindholm. John Marino on the back end. It would have been backhand twice. Shot there. It was almost pitchforked, as you say. And now to the neutral zone is Jason Zucker. Zucker, Freight Train bodies in the way on the backhand. Freight Train forcing him to the outside, the edge of the zone. And we'll have a penalty on the way against the Freight Train. Who was Victor Arvidsson going off? What did he do? Arvidsson is going to the boards here. What did he do? I didn't see it. I didn't see any. Oh, come on. I didn't see a slash. I didn't see it. That's bogus. That's a bogus penalty. Nah. What kind of penalty is that? I'll face off whoever's that guy. That is not a. I don't know what kind of call that was. Not too proud of it. Hopefully the Freight Train can defend it. Here's Jason Zucker over the line with David Kemp in the offensive zone. David Kemp took away there by Curtis Lazar for Atlanta. They put backhanded out. Moving back in, but Owen Power takes it away, and he's under the puck. Here comes the Baltimore Blast. They regain control, and down in the left wing corner. Sherwood battling along the boards, trying to gain possession. Jack is able to do so. He'll try to clear it out, and it'll go down the ice. The Baltimore Blast able to retrieve it deep in our own zone. Blake Coleman over to David Camp. Finding Jason Zucker, he moves to the middle of the ice. With to go Joshua's repairs. Drop off David back to Camp for the shot and a save. Quick stop there by Dan Bladar. Over to Joshua on the backhand, trying to waft one towards the net, and a save there by Bladar once more. 15:36 still to go in period one, so we're only about 4.5 minutes in. Still a scoreless game here on a Wednesday night. Not everything in though. Of course. There's Baker for the Atlanta Freight Train, able to get it down the ice. It goes right along the Baltimore goal line in the far corner. Is Larson able to get it there, and he passed it over there. And skates up because of it after a couple passes, tripping over my own words, shot there and a save it, and Dan Bladar able to hold on for his own whistle. I'm tripping up over my own words. The last one went home, taking the face-off against Mika Zabinajad. On the face-off, Gustav Forsling over to J.J. Moser. Along the right wing, but it's the Blast try to keep it in, but we'll have an offside call. Last one on because of Zabinajad taking the face-off. 15:07 to go in the first. Freight Train able to win in their own end, back out to center ice and into the offensive zone, intercepted by Brock Besser from the Baltimore Blast again. Last night, 4-3 in overtime. There's Gustav Forsling on the backhand. Nicholas Elbe Kuda. Oh, not last night, 2 nights ago. There's a bad drive right to the front of the backhand, nice save. Roy up high. The bad drive left on it. Justin Barron takes a big hit. Good chip by the Couriers. Austin Watson up high. Roy. And he finds the bad drive right to the front, and Bladar shuts it down. And he holds on for the whistle. So, Justin Barron took a big hit from Mika Zibanejad. If you don't pay attention, that's what you get. Every hockey player has to have a good sense of a 360 sense of what's around them at all times. Christopher Bratt in the corner, able to kick it to his teammate down low. John Marino. Bank off the boards over to Alex Tuck. Here comes the Freight Train. Alex Tuck. Tuck battling along the boards, trying to hold on to it. Gustav Forsling. Opens the room for Alex Tuck, able to dump it in the zone, able to go in deep, but it's going to end up being a turnover to Matt Roy. And he'll feed David Camp. So there you go, the Baltimore Blast able to get out the other way with Dakota Joshua through center. In the line, in the right circle. And the slot is Austin Watson, but the shot went off Freight Train skate, and it went over the top of the goal. Battling in the right wing corner. Out there, Austin Matthews able to come out with it, finding Owen Power on the backhand. Feed over to just for Bratt. Bratt moving right in the middle. Alex Tuck right there with a shot, but a weak shot wide of the net. Tuck on the backhand once more. Tuck, Forsling. Shot there and a save. Felix Copley able to hold on for the whistle. Six shots for the Baltimore Blast, 4 for the Atlanta Freight Train. 7:53 to go in the first. Off the face-off win is Matt Roy. Go to the left side of the ice, turn over and right to. Here's McKenzie and Twistle down low, back up high over to Arbor. Jack got that shot tipped, saving it's tipped over top of the goal. And Twistle battling there in the corner. Arbor Jack is there, up high Ogren. That low right in front is in Twistle. Shot and a save, Phoenix Copley. Look at 2 really good shots on goal for the Atlanta Freight Train. Curtis Lazar facing Kirby Dock. All the face-off win. Kulikov able to get over to Matt Roy. Able to find Blake Coleman over the red line. 2 Freight Train defenders shot there in an easy glove save for Dan Bladar, holding on for the whistle. So third line out there for the Atlanta Freight Train. As they win, they're on their own zone. Freight Train did get off that penalty from earlier. It's been a while since then. But just need to say that for the radio listener. Shot there, that one down in the far corner, able to go. Matt Roy is there. State 55 to go in period 1. Cross back to the near side is Dmitry Kulikov in the Baltimore Blast. Move into the Freight Train zone, but it's poked away along the wall. Down low is Jason Zucker. Back up high is Kulikov as they cycle up pretty well. Slap shot saved into the corner. Nicholas Kubel able to get it out, but it's picked up by Blake Coleman. Coleman wiped out. Arbor over to Victor Arvidsson. Arvidsson along the right way. Bizarre the drop-off shot, and a save there by Phoenix. Copley holding on for another face-off. Face-off will be to his left. So Blake Coleman absolutely wiped out. Big hits. Last one on. Nicholas Abedjad in the face-off circle. And the Freight Train able to win it on. Good start. This not the greatest shot. A high glove save for Phoenix. Copley. 7 shots apiece. 7:20 remaining here in period 1 for the Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. So the Freight Train need to get some puck possession. That's been their struggle. Shot their block and the Blast able to take it over. Michael Bunting over the line. In the left circle, trying to move the middle. Besser with a shot, and it's easily turned aside. To the corner it goes. Besser knocks the only Freight Train defender near him off the puck. Larson takes it past the middle and try to get one on goal, but unable to do so. And Fantillion able to barely get possession. Get to Victor Arvidsson, but he turns it right back over. He's the bench at the other way anyway. Shoots in the glove save for Dan Vladar. Scoreless game here in the first period. 6:01 remaining between the Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Liam Ogren and David Kampf. Face-off lane behind the goal is able to go. That one was picked up by Joshua. Top of the left circle. Waters being blocked by Ogren. Here comes Ogren leading the way for the Freight Train at the center and over the line. Ogren trying to drift across, but almost turned it over. Got it back on the backhand. And Murphy takes it away for Baltimore. Here comes Dakota Joshua. The Blast moving right through center. Down in the corner. Just got Forsland. Really bad pass there. Ear zone power feeding Liam Ogren. Keeper Sherwood. Toe drag on the backhand, and then I'm trying to go fancy, and it didn't work out too well. Here come the Baltimore Blast over the line, able to move right on in. The pass, Watson, and a save. Kampf right down low, trying to sneak one. That was up beside the goal, didn't work out too well for David Kampf. Marino, the Freight Train regain puck possession. Good. Down the left side, Bratt stops up. Oh, nice pass, and a save, Phoenix Copley. 3:22 remaining in period 1 between the Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Still scoreless. 12 shots for Baltimore, just 8 for Atlanta. Odd face-off win, the Freight Train won it. I wish Atlanta would get more shots, but again, there have been many winners so far that we've covered that have won with less shots than their opponent. Carson Meyer able to drop it off Bobby McMahon. A lot of bodies in the way. John Marino able to gain hold. Over to Jesper Bratt through center ice. Really Freight Train on the rush on the same level as him, but he ends up turning it over in the offensive zone. Here's Carson Meyer feeding Bobby McMahon once again. Here come the Blast with 2:06 remaining. But the Freight Train able to get it back. Alex Tuck turns it over. Larson enters the zone along the left wing boards. The slot Tuck rebound. They score. Justin Kirkland on a rebound. His first goal this season for the Baltimore Blast, and they're on the board. Made such a good save, but then got himself in such a vulnerable position that Envladar. PC makes that great save, and then he was unable to adjust to make another one. He didn't have to make the flashy save. Making the flashy save cost him the goal. 1-0 Baltimore. So now the freight train trailed by 1. Last lane them off face off unit Siegenthaler, able to move along in the right lane. Shot right to the front down along the corner, skipped up by John Marino. Battle on the far side there. It's Victor Robertson. Leno, big hit behind the play. Oh, we have a penalty on the way. Oh, he's hurt. Oh, he's hurt. John Marino. There's a bit of a scuffle there. Oh, he's down. And he is not getting up. John Marino and they're both going to the box for roughing. Because of John Marino, who's hurt. That's what I want to see. Who's hurt? Oh, they're not going to show it. We're going to go back. We're going to go into the replay and show it. Who's hurt? Victor Arvidsson. So Victor Arvidsson went down. Last line home and Kerberdock taking the face off. I keep forgetting I need to do that right after this game. Power on the. Checking. I'll do an intermission. Progressing along over the right line on the back end and trying to move it right to the front. And the Arbor Jack guy. One down by 1. So, not too much reason to panic, but not the greatest start. Went home. Tuck in the circle. Could pass so and power up high, but time winding down the first. Shot there in the glove save. 5.2 seconds remaining in period 1. 5.2 seconds remaining. The Blast lead by a score of 1-0. Final face-off period 1. Tuck on the backhand. Shot there and a save, and that will do it for the first period. Here at Costco Center in Atlanta, Georgia. Atlanta Freight Train trailing 1-0 after 1. You're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Baltimore Blast with 14 shots. 14. Atlanta can't. They don't have the puck enough. That's their issue. They don't have the puck enough, and then wonder why this happens. Yeah, we're gonna adjust some settings because look how the hitting needs to be turned down. No, I don't. They're not game settings. Play sliders. That's where I want to be. Checking. Turn these down. Let's go 44. I'm adjusting this right now really quick. Like 60 something. So yeah, he's trying adjusting these settings. Injuries down. 38 is good. 38. Alright, I just had to turn down these settings. Alright, so we're gonna get back to the action. You were listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Hopefully that does make a difference. So Freight Train, they're struggling. That's the story. They don't have the puck enough. It's simple as that. They don't have the puck enough. So the Atlanta Freight Train, they need to get in possession more, and they need to hold on to it. That's really all I have for you for the intermission show here. So 12 shots for the 12 hits. So Baltimore's 27. Probably those hits are about to decrease because out of my adjustments. So enjoy period 2, the Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Period 2, here we go, the Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Freight Train struggling, they're trailing by 1 to the Baltimore Blast after 1. Hopefully, Freight train looking to get a fresh period. Hopefully a fresh start. Matthews able to move on in. The shot there and a save. Phoenix Copley in the far corner is running over the other Seagull. It's better already. Rockbuster on the far side. Knocked down. Matthews able to scoop it up. Kirby Doc knocked out the puck. And the Seagull is there in the far corner. Able to dump it around. Over to Brockbuster, unable to move over the line. Check over to Austin Matthews. And we'll have a penalty on the way. Against Atlanta. I didn't see it. Oh, it's for... No, sorry. It's against the Baltimore Blast. Sorry. I didn't see it. Is that a slash? What is that? It's definitely a penalty. I just don't know what. Interference. Okay, that makes sense. It's a bit of a more broad penalty because it looked like it could have been slashing, boarding. Could have been. It looked like it could have been a bunch of things. I thought out the pace up on the win. He was supposed to have forcing him on in with a shot there, save, and Fantilli a second shot from the side, scooped up by Larson. And now I'm cleared all the way down the ice. It's going to skitter its way all the way down. Behind the freight train end, Gustav Forsling almost ran into his goaltender. Jim Bladar. Here's Obeku Bell in the backhand. Obeku Bell trying to hold on the puck. He's able to do so. He shoots and he hit the post. Shot there in the same one. Able to hit the post, but unable to beat the goaltender. Shot there to score! Nicholas Obeku Bell. 1-0 Atlanta. Well, the freight train inside the game at 1. Nicholas Obeku Bell. So, I will adjust the goal horn real quick. We have a custom goal horn. So the freight train late have tied the Atlanta freight train have tied the game at 1. So see, he's moves in the middle of the circle, moves in the slot. Obeku Bell gets the fire the wrist shot, goes slightly far side, beating the Baltimore goaltender. What's his name? Copley. I think it's Copley. Obeku Bell left on it. Shot there, nice save. I just said his name like 5 minutes ago. I already forget. For the Baltimore Blast is bunting. And almost there. Scooped up by Zabedja. Game. Freight train tied the game at 1. Here's Nicholas Obeku Bell. He scored the goal for the freight train. Shot there and the goal is Phoenix Copley. He probably won't be playing too much on Baltimore, but just because of Connor Hellebuck. The face-off line now in power. Stop. The right circle. Shot. Score! Gustav Forsling. First goal for the Atlanta Freight Train. 2-1 Atlanta. They go back to back. The Freight Train have the lead. Yeah, I think for goals, I'll just leave it. Better for now. Freight Train take a 2-1 lead just like that. That shot was a very high shot from very far out. I don't think Phoenix Copley was expecting it to rise as much as it did. He wasn't expecting all that movement from the puck because it was not a very fast shot. It was very high in the wind. Top shelf for Mama Hides the Cookies. Reference Rick Generant, which the Buffalo broadcaster, by the way, shot there in a save. Dan Lenore, but on up with a whistle. Here's the announcement. Yeah, how about that? Other audio freight train able to win. Here's Alex Tuck. Now the freight train are back in business. Here's Alex Tuck able to move over the line, stop at the right circle. Right with a shot there and a save, trying to get a rebound. Phoenix Copley denied him. Austin Matthews, Kirby Doc. Taking the face-off for the freight train and the Baltimore Blast. On the face-off win, the Baltimore Blast able to win it. It's Roy in his own zone, going behind with Dmitry Kulikov on the other side. Hand off to Kirby Doc. Tuck able to keep it in for the freight train, but Sucker gets it right back out. Jason Zucker down the ice and over the line. Owen Power able to take it away. Able to get over to just for Brent. Really good pass there for Atlanta. Right, able to charge on in, but Kirby Doc bouncing around and ends up with the hands of Blake Coleman now as he works out to center ice. A long lead pass over to Jason Zucker. Zucker the back end. Coleman the drop-off shot there and a save. Trying to get his own rebound. And he puts it home and they score, but they say no goal. They say no goal. We're going to take a look at this one. Yeah, Coleman's in front of that. He's interfering with Dan Vladar. That's... Call that off. That didn't count. You see, he's trying to, like, shove his pad to his left pad to the side. No, that's his right pad. He's trying to shove his right pad to the side to make that 5-hole bigger. Yeah, and that doesn't count. So thankfully they took the goal off. The Freight Train still leads 2-1 off the face-off when it's Larson. Able to move it to the near side. And he lost it. Bit of a loose puck. It's picked up by Austin Matthews. He's got speed! Why did he drop it to Alex Tuck? Why? Alex Tuck was way back. He was right at the front of the net. Made some nice D. Into the cushion move. Baltimore the other way. Shot there and saved down the corner as Moser. Long lead Tuck, but it's intercepted by Bunting. Larson on the forehand, the right side, lost it. He whiffed on the shot, actually. Bunting. Moser. Over to Liam Ogren. Two Baltimore defenders in front of him. He took a big hit. Some big hits. Yeah, the neutral's down here. Savage right over the line. On top of the right circle. What a move on the... I don't know what he was trying to do there on the backhand. It did look cool. But he didn't really get much done for the Baltimore Blast. And we'll have a face-off. This time it's going to be to the right of Dan Vladar. Oh, that's a big hit. Last line home. Facing Mika Zavajak. Off the face-off win. The Freight Train able to win it. John Marino. Intercepted. Shot there and save at the backhand. Rebound. They score. Mika Zavajak with his first goal of the season for the Baltimore Blast. And the game's tied at 2. The Baltimore captain gets it done. So the Atlanta Freight Train. Some really lazy defense in front. And then... Yeah, see it bounces off. And then Mika Zavajak, he was already skating back. And then all he has to do is he gets it on the backhand. And then he spins around and just slides her in. Really smoothly and really quickly. The game's tied at 2. So the Baltimore Blast have tied it. Not what I want to see better defense from Atlanta. But they're able to move on in the high slot. They lost control after some stick handling. Slide shot that one. Went off some sticks and up high and over top of the goal. Owen Power able to feed Nicholas Baker-Bill. Used forcing in the middle and forcing up the ice, but it's poked away and the puck is loose. Owen home able to get it back to Forsberg with a shot and a save. And the puck going to be kept in. At least for now. No, it won't be. As the Bridget able to go back at the center, the Baltimore captain. Along the right wing, down in the corner, along the goal line, back out up high. Loose puck, Nicholas Baker-Bill once again, back the other way for the Freight Train. Putting across. Let's defend on the shot. Didn't really get much off of it as it went wide. Here's David Kemp. Back up the ice after a long lead pass. He's cornered. Going up the lane. Finds one Murphy. That shot is blocked. Showing a good solid defense here. Baker-Bill on the back end. Shooting in Adam Fantilli with Lindholm. Fantilli trails right behind him, but Lindholm, it almost looked like he was tripped up and he lost it. But there was no call. McKenzie against whistle. Back the other way along the left wing over the line, able to move right to the front. Too many bodies in the way. Phoenix Copley holding out for the whistle with 8:11 to go in period 2. What happened to the game? They're on a Wednesday night for some Wednesday night hockey. We're on the Freight Train in the Baltimore Blast. Off the face-off, Matt Roy. Able to get over to Jason Zucker along the far side. Kirby Doc in the middle. Drop off Blake Coleman in a slot with a shot. That one corner to the side. Really good poke. Really good easy save for Dan Vladar. 7:35 to go in the period. We're kept in by Roy. Zucker on the backhand right to the front. Another easy close save for Dan Vladar. So the Atlanta Freight Train, they did give up one early, but since then they've holding the ground offensively. Their issue is offensively they are struggling. Off the draw, Liam Ogren. Here's Sean Marino along the right wing, kept in by Kerbedock for the Baltimore Blast. Larson left on it. Here's Sean Marino on the back end, able to get over to Liam Ogren. Ogren with a bit of room, but it's fading quickly. In the corner he goes. He was poked away. Ogren able to get it right back. Back up high as Moser enters. All the way there, Marino goes way out to get it back in his own zone. He's forced all the way to behind his own goal line. Marino, a bit of a loose puck. Damn, ends up with it, and he holds on. So we'll have another whistle and a face-off to his right. So the Freight Train don't play positionally too bad there, but they ultimately were cornered all the way into their own corner after being in the offensive zone. At the front, Seagull all the way off the face-off, shot blocked. Again, a shot saved by the net, back up high over to Kirkland. And Matthews takes it away. Austin Matthews. And the forehand drop pass just for Brett in the high slot. It's poked away. There's Carson Meyer back the other way for the Baltimore Blast with 5:15 to go in period 2. The pass in the middle, shot there though, and blocked inside. But it doesn't go to the corner. Instead, it just drops down. Brett takes it. And back goes Matthews with Brett right behind him. Matthews holds on. Back up high. It's whiffed on and along the blue line. Inside, Brett in the middle on the backhand, trying to loft one to the net, and a save there with ease by Phoenix Copley. 4:25 remaining in period 2. 24 shots for the Baltimore Blast, 22 for the Atlanta Freight Train. So, tie games seems to have become. It seems to have became a chess match, pretty much. Here comes good job with a bit of speed because Reg had to move it on in with Bunting and a save, Dan Vladar. Good save. Keeps this game tied at 2. Dan Vladar. Really good shot there by Michael Bunting right in the slot, and that one is kept in by the bottom of his glove, and it wasn't even secure. It just dropped down right by his left pad. And just by sheer luck, he keeps that one out of the goal crease. When he keeps it in the goal crease and keeps it in front of that red line, that very important red line, which is the goal line. On the face-off win, and the Freight Train win it. Sammy Blay for the Atlanta Freight Train. The Big A able to dump it in. Get into the far side it goes. In the right one corner, Nicholas Obey, good pass, Owen Power. Goes on, Freight Train shot, and a save. Really good cycling there for a moment for Atlanta. Bunting able to move in. He stops up. Seeking the left drop off pass. That one trying to go in front, but instead it banks off the boards to the right side. A bit of a battle there, but back up by the Blast, keep it in. Shot there, save. That one tipped wide by a defender. The Train able to get it out with barely. Sammy Blay over to Gustav Forsling. Quick hand off to Obey Cabell on the backhand, but he lost it there as well. Brock Besser going the other way with 2 minutes remaining. Less than that now here in the second. Owen Power back the other way for the Freight Train. A bit of back and forth to here late in period 2. Overend, not much doing there. Overend spinning around with a shot and a save. Phoenix Copley. 1:25 remaining in period 2. William Ogren, Kerbedock the face-off. Blast able to win the draw. Kerbedock out to center. Lost it. Cooper Sherwood. He can't hold on to it either as he's pinned against the wall. It's kicked into the Baltimore end. Blake Coleman fouled into period 2. Coleman, he's back-checked heavily, but tried to get a pass off. That one didn't go out too well, but Larson found it and feeded Kerbedock with the pass. Kerbedock right in the middle with a shot and weaved around the defenders, and the save is made by Dan Vladar. 24.5 seconds remaining in period 2. Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast here in Costco Center, Atlanta. Now that are on the Blast 20, down in the final 20 seconds of period 2. The game tied at 2. Kept in by Dmitry Kulikov for now, but oh, Sherwood's gonna break. Sherwood, here he goes. Not much room. And he lost the puck, and that will do it for period 2. 2 periods in the books. The game is tied 2 apiece. A bit of back and forth in the latter half of period 2. You were listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. So the game's tied 2, the Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. 27 shots for Baltimore, 24 for the Atlanta Freight Train. I'm Tubbs Rose. Glad to have you tuning in here on a Wednesday night. You're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. This is the second intermission show. Game tied at 2. Pretty close game between the Freight Train and the Blast. Freight Train definitely struggling, but they've made some progress, tying the game 2 goals apiece. So now for the Baltimore Blast, really good in the body checking. He's on the shots. Freight Train aren't too bad in the shots. Freight Train are winning a lot of faceoffs. That's one win for them. It scored on the power play while Baltimore didn't, so hopefully the Freight Train can get another power play. Or, well, first they gotta draw a penalty. But we will see. But Baltimore's main strength seems to be puck possession and physicality. That seems to be Baltimore's main strengths. And that physicality can make things difficult at times. Freight Train have been physical of their own at points, definitely. But not as much as Baltimore, as you can see the hit totals. 48-34. 48 for the Blast, 34 for the Atlanta Freight Train. So period 3 on the way. You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Welcome back, period 3 here at Costco Center. The Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast. Austin Matthews taking the face-off. Wins the Benajad on that top line to start period 3 with the game tied at 2. And the Blast win it. We're back underway for period 3. But being able to move on in. And in the beginning, the Freight Train in their black and orange uniforms. The two-tone. And the Baltimore Blast in their blue and green road jerseys that are mainly white. The white jersey with the blue shoulder, the Blast logo, the blue pants with the green and black stripes, and the blue, green, and black socks. And the second dollar there, able to find Michael Bunting through center and over the line, cross-ice pass to Brockbuster on the other side. Zap of the red circle, number shot very high, bounced off the shoulder of Dan Vladar back on the near side. And we will take a break of the next face-off. Here's Alex Tuck. It'll be just a quick short break. Over the red line. Now didn't work out too well. You're in the second all the way over to Michael Bunting. Over the blue line, right in the high slot. Owen Power able to take away. And he goes back on the near side for the Atlanta Freight Train. Battle along the wall. It gets a bit messy, but the Blast able to win it. So Benjamin able to move on in. Along the blue line, Besser right into the front, but he fanned on the shot. Benjamin spinning around right at the front with a shot, but he hit the toe of Dan Vladar. Larson with a shot, pad save to the corner it goes. Owen Power scoops it up immediately after. Nicholas Cabell unable to get it out of his own zone. Freight Train trapped in their own zone. Finally they break free. Force line knocked off right at the opposing blue line. Siegenthaler moves right back in on the right side. Siegenthaler picks it up with a shot there. Save with the blocker, and back around it goes up high. Siegenthaler gets a second opportunity, and it's denied as well. 4 minutes gone by in the third period. Oh, big hit! Bunting with Coleman right to the front. Pad save by Vladar, able to knock it to the near wall. And they're trying to get out to center. Here's Marino. They're trying to get an offensive chance of their own. Marino knocked off the puck, and Coleman sweeps in. The back game still tied at 2 between the Baltimore Blast and the Freight Train 5 minutes into period 3. Sucker with speed, but he's poked away, and that ends all of his, everything he had going. And behind Siegenthaler, some good cycling. Shot there wide the goal. Blocked behind the net. Coming out in front, blocked by McKenzie and Twistle. Twistle wiped out in the defensive zone. The French got up ice, but they lost it back again. Blake Coleman. Now one puck check. Puck stays in play. Sucker. Shot their pad save. Arbor Jack over to Kiefer Sherwood. Here come the Freight Train. Back up the ice of the way. Sherwood surrounded by the Baltimore defenders and ends up being turned over. And it's Larson now for Baltimore. We pass it over to Herbert Dock in the middle, moving to the side. Go drop off in the middle. Jack able to break it up. So Matthews the other way. Matthews moving around with a shot. He scores! Austin Matthews! And the freight train take a 3-2 lead here at Costco Center over the Baltimore Blast. Austin Matthews moves in, top of the right circle, far side shot, and past Copley. I don't even know if he realized how close, how far away Austin Matthews was. I think he was expecting a shot to go right at his chest, and then it went far side. Matthews puts it through. We're going to keep playing. It's just for Brad able to move up. Top of the left circle in the back end, shot 37 in the corner. See, we have a face-up break. We'll go to a short break. Escape able to move over the right line, able to move in, top of the left circle. Good poke check, but Kemp keeps going with Roy. Shot way, I was a mile wide of the Atlanta net. Go to Joshua battling there, David Kemp around the net. Shot the right on the side of the old Wood, are able to make the save, and he holds on for the whistle in his own zone. Right train lane, 3-2, thanks to Austin Matthews. Mitchell Kulikov, he took like almost like a hit, and then he kind of went down on his side. He's okay. I mean, this game's still, even though I adjusted the settings of it, so that it's less arcadey, there's still some big hitting, especially by Baltimore, mainly Baltimore. Alex Tuck able to get out on center, and delay penalty against the Baltimore Blast. We're going to have a penalty, and we will go to break. After the penalty shot there wide the goal. Back on the near side. Down low along the goal line. Adam Fantilli on the back, right to the front. Penalty on the way. Interference to David Camp. And we're going to go to break. I'll be back in just a moment. You are listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Well, welcome back. So let's get back to this. 10:55 to go. Interference call on the way. And we're right back to it. So taking a look at what happened, because we're right back to the game. Oh, David Camp going off for interference. Freight train going to the power play. And this is a chance to take the lead for Atlanta. What they need to do here is get that puck, cycle it, look for that opportunity. You know, once you find it, strike. The best shot you got. Nice shot in the glove save. It was about in the fan. And they're gonna knock it down just like Forsling did right there. Some good work on the power players. Now moving back in. Elias Leno, the drop off of Nicholas Obey. Kumel moving right back on in. Down low. Kumel with a shot and a save. Sigador able to get it. Silk able to get out. And he's going to clear it all the way down the ice. So the freight train going to go all the way back down. Adam Petulli able to have it behind the net. Pass all the boards over to Liam Ogren right in the middle. Oh, boy, what a hit. Run to Sigador, back of the net, along the left wing wall. In the middle of Sigador, and shot there in the goal save. Dan Vladar able to hold on for the whistle. Austin Matthews, Carson Meyer, second to face off. Up high, it's Larson. Oh, what a hit on Larson. Joshua with the shot there, scooped up by Meyer, down low along the goal line. He's cornered there by Matthews, another freight train defenseman. Alex Tuck, and then back the other way we go. 52 seconds on the Atlanta power play. Brett, the drop-off pass. Matthews, he's knocked off. Then he goes to the corner. Larson and Matthews battling further. Matthews able to win it, but he turns it over immediately to Meyer. And it's kept in. Matthews, he shoots and a save. Phoenix got play. The freight train lead 3-2 at the slim lead. On the face-off, 34 seconds of the man advantage. And Watson unable to get out. Alex Tuck. He shoots and he scores! Power play goal for Alex Tuck, and it's 4-2 Atlanta. How about that? What a turnover, Tuck. He gets it. He spins around. He takes a wrist shot. And then it beats Phoenix Copley. It bounces off his blocker and in. It's 4-2 Atlanta. They turn off to a great start this season. They're already 3-0-1, and they're looking to go 4-0-1 to start the year. So that means they have a 5-game point streak if they win this game. See the ball around on the cornerback up high over to Larson. The high slot, top of the left circle, camp the drop off. Joshua went off a body there, and to the side it goes. Watson battling in the corner there, back up high over to Jonas Siegenthaler. Also with a shot there, save in the corner. Go to Joshua. Larson. Apply for David Camp. To go the drop off, that shot blocked. Scooped over the corner by Austin Matthews. On the near side, Marino. Shot Marino feeding Alex Tuck over the red line. On the back end, Brett able to move on in with a shot to goal save. Phoenix Copley. Nice one on because a big guy out of face-off lane. Got there to save it. Along the boards, went home. They're always there. Then Brock Besser gets it on his backhand, able to get it back out. Although considering all the way off his own, he just rips one. Easy save. J.J. Moser. Over Fantilli. All the way down the ice. Off the dump in. Looking like it's on the backhand. Fantilli was going to do there. Backhand shot. Easy save for Phoenix Copley. Was hoping for like a backdoor pass there, but he didn't get it. I think that would have been the smarter decision since he was right there. The pass was there. Maybe then some play could have been developed. But he just shot it instead. Fantilli a weak chance to the front. Copley denies it easy, and we'll do it all over again. With 6:21 remaining here in the third, glad to have you tuning in. 4-2 freight train over the Baltimore Blast. On that top line, going home. And the referee drops the puck, and face-off line, Marino goes up high, right in the middle. It's a bit able to skip it up with the backhand. Able to get over the red line, able to move it into the offensive zone on the left side. He's knocked off. Obey Kubel back on the right side. He took a hit. He lost his stick. He's going to have to go either get a new one or go pick up his old one. Moser knocked off. And the freight train able to get it. Here's Moser back the other way. Oh, what a pass to Obey Kubel. Obey Kubel back of the hands of Moser. He's going to rip one in the goal and save Phoenix Copley. Freight train lead 4-2, 5:01 remaining in the period. Nicholas Obey Kubel took a big hit there. See him almost spin around and he lost his stick. Really good hit on Obey Kubel, I will admit that. Freight train mascot over there. Here's Connor Murphy along the right way. Might be able to move on in with Blake Coleman there. Freight train down low in the corner. And they're able to get it back out of their own end. In the center, Kentucky's pressured, finding Matthews. And they lost it. 4-5 to go in the period. Blake Coleman over the red line, enters his own with Tucker. He shot, and it goes in! Dev Woodar made the save. And then it bounced up. I don't know what there's nothing he could have done. Aside from alter his body posture, but he didn't know to begin with. I How do I even blame him for that? You see the shot, it's quite airborne. He makes the blocker save, then it bounces up. And then it bounces down. What are you going to do about that? And then it's in. I mean, a lucky bounce for Kirby Documents for his first of the season for the Baltimore Blast. So the freight train lead has been cut to 4-3. They're on the freight train, number 1. It goes down Forrest Lane to start off. Feeding Fantilli around the middle. The pass Obey Kubel with a shot and a save. Rebound! Oh, couldn't get it through. Obey Kubel down the corner behind the goal in the trapezoid. Behind the net goes, and Kirby Doc is the first one there, and he gets the puck with ease, finding Blake Coleman. Coleman the pass over to Witherspoon. Witherspoon with possession of the puck. In the right wing circle, Owen Power steals it there. And back goes Atlanta the other way. Obey Kubel, and he's back checked, but he gets a pass over to Fantilli. Waves around. Fantilli tried to get one on goal, but not much doing there. The loose puck going to the other side of the ice, on the right side, as the Blast able to come out with Benji hugging the boards. In the right circle, bending right in the slot. And a shot right at the pad of Ladar, an easy save for him with 1:34 remaining. Baltimore only trailing by 1 here. They need to shut down the net. They need to lock down their defense in goaltending. In the final minute and a half. Right off the face-off lane. Keep Baltimore out of their own zone. Oh, a big hit! And he lost his helmet, so he's just going to get off the bench. So, we get a new guy out there, Budsing. Down in the corner. Final minute of play in the third. Freight train trying to hold on to a one-run lead with less than a minute to go. Tuck over the line with Fantilli. Tuck, his shot there and a save. Phoenix Copley. This crowd's quite enjoying it because I can only imagine if they've attended these games well. Curtis Lazar, Kirby Doc to face off. You can hear the excitement in the building. Freight train out the face off one. John Marino. Over to Moser. Moser, a shot there and a save. No big ball on the backhand. Freight train lost 2 days ago to Baltimore. 4-3 in overtime. 33 seconds remaining. Shot there and a save. Net is empty for the Blast. Copley at the bench. Down low. Freight train. There's Sammy Blay. Empty net. Oh, he just missed. Down to 15. Empty net. It's in the score. Nicholas Kubel. His second goal today. The Freight train lead it 5-3. And that's gonna put the cherry on top for the Freight train. You just squeaked it out and that was so satisfying. And the Freight train the point streak will live another day. A 5-game point streak, and the only loss is an overtime loss, so we still got a point. Down to 11 seconds, the Freight train. Bradley could try to go for one more. Shot there and a save with 5 seconds remaining. So that's going to be your game. 5 seconds remaining. Probably the last face-off is going to be to Copley's right. Austin Matthews, Mika Zibanejad. Off the face-off lane. Mika Zibanejad, Rant Roy. Able to get out to Brock Besser along the right wing. One more chance. Time runs out and the Freight train win. 5 games in a row with at least 1 point. 4 of the 5 games with 2 points. Freight train have won their first 4 of 5 games. They're 5-0, this improves the record of 4-0-1. And then we defeat the Baltimore Blast and they win the opening series against the Blast to start the season after the back-to-back against the K-Wings. I'm Thomas Rose. You're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Final score, the Freight train 5 and the Baltimore Blast 3. Final score, Atlanta 5, Baltimore 3. I'm Thomas Rose. Post-game show next. Stick around here on the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Oh, welcome to the SIHL TV Radio Network. The Atlanta Freight Train and the Baltimore Blast go head-to-head. The Freight Train, they played really well. They struggled early on, but then they course-corrected big time. Nicholas Obey-Cabell with 2 goals for the Freight Train, and they win it 5-3. Really good. This is what I didn't see last year. I was just yearning to see it. Inject this into my veins. Yes. That's what I want to see. Exactly the type of hockey I want to see, especially in that third period. They didn't play perfect, but they played pretty well. Really good defensively. Really good with the puck. Getting to the net. Maybe they didn't always have the puck all the time, especially on the power play. They did a really good job cycling. And they're really good on the power play, 2 for 2. Those 2 power play goals really helped them here. And it got them the win. They defeat the Baltimore Blast 5-3. What can I say? That's the struggles early on, but they did a really good job. Winning a lot of face-offs. Perfect score on the power play, 2 for 2. And Baltimore had a lot of hits. They had dang near almost 100 by the counter, although probably a good chunk of them are. I don't like the way it counts hits, because I think it counts anytime you rub up against somebody as a hit. And like make contact with another player in the game. That's the way it is. But that's me rambling. Freight Train beat the Blast 5-3. Great game for Atlanta. I want to cover them again because they are worth covering. So we'll see you on Friday. Tomorrow will be the off day. No games tomorrow in the SIHL, but there will be only 1 game Friday. There are a lot of games tonight. I will get to them. I will try and do my usual recap on that. I also got some games to catch up on since I've been busy. So that's your post-game show. I'm Tom Strauss. You were listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. Goodbye. Good night. See you on Friday. So for opening puck drop for the only game on Friday, 6:35 p.m. Eastern. That is going to be our start. The broadcast should start around between 6 and 6:10. Columbus Joe and the Philadelphia Falcons. I believe it's in Philly. I can't remember. It's either in Philly or Columbus. I cannot remember to save my life. So you'll see it one more time. You're listening to the SIHL TV and Radio Network. On Friday, be there. Get your stream open. Columbus Joe, Philadelphia Falcons, 6:35 p.m. Eastern. Broadcast starts at 6:10. Glad to have you. Hope you had a great time. I'll see you then. Goodbye and good night.